Joined on the dais by Temple head coach Tanya Cardoza and student athletes Fionda Fitzgerald and Tanea Atkinson. Coach, if you want to start with just a quick opening statement, and then we'll open it up for questions.
I thought this was a really tough game, and a lot of it had to do with Houston. They're a really good team, and I think Huey's doing an outstanding job with his team. They play really hard. They can score, and the fact that they just played last night and were still really, really competitive. So my hat's off to them. I thought, the last time we played them, it was a really fast-paced game, and they got out in transition a lot. So we talked about trying to limit their transition buckets, and they like to attack and try to get to the basket. For the most part, that first half was, tough on both teams. I think we were a little cold just not being in the gym and, weren't able to make shots. And we feed off of our defense, and I just felt like we weren't really getting scores, and I thought we just lacked a little bit on defense, but still held them to 25 points at the half. But Fee, Tanea, and Aaliyah, when you look at the stat sheet, they had all but 2 of the points. But that's not to discredit what Ruth did. Ruth had 15 rebounds. Sophia was huge with 4 blocks. So everyone did their job. We played pretty much 6 guys today playing 40 minutes. People just stepped up and made shots when they had to. Tanea never asked to come out, and that's rare. but the fact that she played 40 minutes and, still able to get a double-double. But again, we're at a time where it's a new season, and we're just trying to win games to keep our hopes alive. I think pretty much this might solidify us in the NCAAs, but right now we're just trying to position ourselves for a better seed. And, right now we're excited about this because this is only our second conference tournament win. But, credit to my players. Things weren't really going well for us in that first half, but we found a way to win the basketball game. I know that was a long opening statement. Sorry.
Raise your hand if you have a question, please, for the student athletes and coach.
Yeah, Tanya, we talk about the little bit of a struggle early on offense, but you did get a lot of second chance points and offensive rebounds. Can you talk about how important that was to the effort?
It was really important because we talked about how they like to really get out and run, and we were going to only send certain guys to the boards, and we just happened to, those certain guys that were going to the boards got the boards, but we were really worried about them getting out and running, so we didn't want to send too many guys to the boards. But, giving ourselves second chance. I thought even the shots that we missed, they were all good shots. They just weren't falling for us. So we had to make sure that we got ourselves second chance opportunities.
Tanea, homecoming for you. You go out and you have a double-double. What does that kind of mean for you to be able to be home, have your family here, and watching you play?
It's a good feeling now that I actually have the support of my family being here. It feels good to play back in Connecticut, so it's a good feeling.
Just kind of talk about your game today.
Well, at the beginning, I was a little cold, so my shots wasn't falling. So I was trying to find another way, to help my team out, whether it was finding an open teammate or
getting to the basket. And suddenly my shots started falling, so I just kept shooting the ball, kept doing what I had to do to help my team win the game.
Anybody give you a sense you were near a record for finish?
Excuse me?
I don't know if you're aware you set a record for the tournament today with points.
Oh, no, I was unaware of that. I wasn't really worried about my points. I was just playing basketball, doing what I had to do to help my team.
Fee, second half, when your shots were falling, was you surprised when they started full court pressure that they was leaving you wide open and left you handling the ball?
We knew the pressure would come sooner or later, so, we just had to prepare for it and make sure we handle the ball because, they're a good defensive team when they pressure the ball like that full court. So we just had to make sure, we was being careful with the ball and handling the ball, getting it in the right person's hands.
You guys have talked all year about making the NCAA tournament. You're a senior, making this happen. Can you run me through what this means to you, what the season you put together and what you're still hoping to get out of this year?
It means a lot. I feel like my team, the team, we really play for each other. We play for the coaches, and, we leave them on the floor every night. And, it just feels great to be a part of this team and know, what we've accomplished so far. And,
hopefully we continue to do great things and, make it to the NCAA tournament and possibly make a run. So, we're just going to keep working hard every day in practice, doing what we have to do, and hopefully it turns out for the best for us.
Coach, what did you learn about your team, through the trials and tribulations through the whole season? What did you learn today about your team today?
Well, throughout the year, honestly, just to go back to last year, I felt like last year we were immature in the approach to certain games. I felt like if it was a big-name team, we would find a way to get up, and depending on who our opponent was, sometimes we would just go through the motions. So I thought this year, watching them, no matter who we were playing against, they wanted to try to destroy a team. And that was a sign of maturity, that every single night they showed up. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that we didn't make it to the NCAAs last year. And we talked about you can't have any slip-ups, that you have to build a resume. And I thought, for the most part, that we showed a lot of maturity and toughness. We don't play a lot of guys. We've been in some situations, some arenas where we found ways to win, whereas last year we would have lost those games. So toughness and maturity.
Yeah, Fionda, can you talk about what it means to the program to get to the conference semifinals now?
It means a lot. We work hard each and every day. We worked hard during the summer, so to know that it's finally paying off and, we're able to advance to the semifinals in the conference tournament, it just means a lot. It means that our hard work is paying off.
Could you just address, today was a starter for two plus years, and she goes to a reserve role, kind of takes care of business. Run me through, from the other players in the locker room, how much does that mean when you see a teammate putting team ahead of individual honors?
Wait, can you repeat that?
Just your thoughts on, she could have complained about not being a starter, and she's put the team first, but by taking that reserve role and contributing.
I don't think anyone on the team is worried about starting. I feel like we just all playing our role and doing what we have to do each and every night. Like, Tanea's, I never heard her complain about not starting. Like, she had no problem with it. She still had the same energy. She put the same energy every night. Every night we had a game. Every day in practice, she still worked hard. I don't think it really bothered her. And to have that spark coming off the bench was great for our team. So, it didn't really matter.
Were you worried seeing her honored, the honor by this league? We're excited to see her get that 6th player of the year.
Yeah, I was happy to see her get that. I was happy to see all of my teammates that got an award. I was happy to see that they got an award because I feel like we worked hard for it. So I think we deserve it.
I just want to add something too. Like Fee said, Tanea never once complained, and when she got the concussion, we played Villanova. That was the start, and Villanova is a game that I think we've only won maybe 2 times since I've been there, and the game was like almost every starter played the entire game, and then the next game we won, and it was like, okay, right now maybe we found something, and not once did Tanea ever complain about it. It was almost like she relished the role, like, okay, I can be that spark off the bench. I can be that person that could bring something totally different. And again, when you start two years and then you go to the bench, most people would complain about it, but she's relished in it. And I was so excited that the coaches voted her 6th man, because that would have been a disgrace for her not to get it.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.